Nick Puzo with Multiplex. We got our FreshBlender self-serve smoothie machine here. In this video, we're going to talk about ice output issues, whether it's low output of ice, no output of ice, and how to address the causes for each of those. First of all, if you have no ice whatsoever, you want to make sure that you have water to the machine. That would be a water shutdown situation. Normally that would display as a little notification on the sunshine up here. Another one would be HES1. The HES1 issue would be if it's not seeing enough ice come down the ice chute, or ice production isn't keeping up and hitting that what is the Hall effect sensor on the ice chute every 90 seconds. It wants to see ice coming down that chute. So we can address why you might have a low output of ice or why you have no ice. The first thing you want to do is you want to see what the state of the machine is, what the state of the ice machine is, or what the ice maker is. So you want to get into do your three-corner touch and go to your password screen. In order to get your output, you're going to have to be a service tech or log in as a service person. Managers can see inputs, the input screen. So we'll start with the input screen, but I'm going to go ahead and do this as a service person so that I can go to the output screen when I need to. You want to go to Inputs, Ice Maker. So that tells you the current state of the ice maker. This machine currently is making ice okay, so we don't really have any problems here. So I want to give you an example of what you should see when it's functioning properly. Your ice sensor 1 is your HES1 sensor. That's an error you could get if you're not seeing enough ice production down the chute in 90 seconds. If you're not seeing ice pass through there, you will get an HES1 sensor error. Ice sensor 2 is considered HES2. That's the second position of that sensor. Normally that's a bin full reading. You can also get bin full if the chute flap is staying in activating HES1 for a long period of time. You'll get a bin full reading from HES1 or HES2. Your float sensor, that's obvious. When it says high, that means you have water in the float. There's sufficient amount of water to run the machine and create ice. You'll notice as it's making ice, ice sensor 1 will occasionally go from low to high. It will do that as ice passes down the chute and triggers that HES1 sensor. There we go. Just went to high and then back to low. Ice production will shut down, like I said, if it doesn't see ice production in enough amount of time, or if it keeps that flap open for a long enough period of time, it will trigger a bin full. So what can happen is you can get false bin full readings, and normally that's due to hard ice situation or hard water situations. Scale can build up, causing that flap to stick open, giving a false bin full reading. If that's the case, if you look in there or you know you're in a hard scale or a hard water area, the machine's been in a store for 6 months to a year, it's probably a good idea to do a descale. That's probably the main issue for ice production to be either low or not happening because it thinks it's in bin full. So if you observe this screen for a while and it goes into bin full and you have no ice, it's obviously a scale issue, or the chute flap is sticking open. Another reason for low ice output is keeping the condenser filter on the back of the machine clean. Every at least 6 months you want to clean that filter and take it off. You can take it back to a 3-basin sink, wash it out, dry it, put it back into place. It is a washable filter. If the condenser is not able to breathe properly, the ice output is going to be insufficient. It's going to make the ice maker struggle. You also want to make sure the machine's in an area that it's not pulling in other hot air. If it's near other machines that are blowing hot air against the back of this machine, the ice output is going to be very poor. So you want to make sure that this is in an area where the back of the machine can breathe and pull in good clean air. Cooler air the better. You want it to be around 70 degrees ambient temperature for sufficient ice output. If you're in your inputs and you see bin full, but you're pretty sure there should be ice there, but it's not really that much coming out, go ahead and go into your outputs Go into service outputs, dispense and blend. And you're going to want to get a cup, put it in the dispense area. Go ahead and dispense some ice. Hopefully there's ice to dispense. If it's dispensing, let it run about a full cup. Go back to your input screen and see if the state has changed. If it's been sitting at a bin full and you've dispensed ice, that a cup of ice should have made enough ice move down that chute to let that flap close, so that it should trigger either startup or make ice again almost immediately. If that's not happening, again, that flap is sticking open. You need to go and have either service come look at the flap or perform an ice maker cleaning and sanitizing. Once you've verified there's water to the machine, the condenser is clean and the machine can breathe properly, the sensors are reading correctly as ice drops down the chute, and the ice maker status is changed to make ice, you've now remedied your low or no ice situation on the machine.